Boker Or Rabotai, we continue our study of the Tariag Mitzvot, and we are up to the Hashem. It's a negative commandment. It's also in Parashat Behar. Pasuk is Ve'eved Maskit Lo Titenu Be'arsechem Nishtachavot Aleha. It's in Perek Havav, Pasuk Aleph. What is this commandment? First of all, we have to understand what is an Eved Maskit. Or an Eved is a stone or a rock. Maskit is a rock that has on it a design. Either they drew a design on it or they carved a design on it. And this is a isur to take a rock as such and to bow over it or bow on it. The shortish of this mitzvah, the Rambam writes, because that was a practice that was done by Ovdei Avodah Zarah. They would take a rock and then they would bow. So we must distance ourselves from any practices that are similar to Avodah Zarah. They would place, let's say, a nice rock with a different image on it, etc. And they would put it in front of the idol. And then they would bow, not to the rock, but they would bow to the idol, but with this rock in front of it. So then we're not allowed to do anything that mimics or reminds us of the way of the Avodah Zarah. And there's another reason the Chinuch brings over here, because it looks like you're bowing to the rock itself, which is a separate reason. Again, we don't say that by, let's say, if you put your shirt on the floor, we don't say that. And we don't say that if you put, let's say, other perishable items, because that wasn't the way. But a rock is something that's permanent, and therefore it looks more that you're bowing to something that is permanent as opposed to something that is temporary. So we have over here two reasons why Eved Maskit is forbidden. Number one, the Rambam holds because it is a practice of the Ovdei Avodah Zarah. The Chinuch's reason is because it looks like you're actually bowing to the rock itself. Now, the halakha says that the only time it's asur min Torah is what's called bepishut yadayim v'raglayim, which means to totally prostrate oneself with his hands and feet to the ground, but it goes all the way down, similar to what we do on Yom Kippur. So therefore, if a person would go all the way down like that, that would be asur. However, if he just bows in front of it without going all the way down with his hands and legs, so there would be isur midrabanan, and therefore he would get malkut, but the malkut would be midrabanan. Now, of course, they don't hurt any less. It's just that they're on a different level. Now, if a person took a mahaselet, let's say a rug, and he placed it on the rock, on the, let's say, the stone floor, and he covered it, so therefore it is permissible. And that's where we get the minhag. Let's say on Yom Kippur, you have some synagogues that have stone floors. So how do we bow on Yom Kippur when it says V'hakohanim v'ha'am? We have a problem of the Eved Maskit, and the answer is that we take a mahaselet, a rug, and we place it over the stone, and therefore the Achamim say there is no problem. Furthermore, the Isur Deoraita is only Be'arsechem. The Pasuk Lashon was Ve'eved Maskit Lo Titenu Be'arsechem Nishtachavot, which is in Eretz Yisrael proper. However, in the Bet HaMikdash, the law is that it's okay for Kohanim to bow on the stone of the Bet HaMikdash. Question is why? So according to the understanding that we said, according to the Chinuch, that they're going to be, the hashash is that people are going to suspect you're bowing to the stone. Well, nobody's going to suspect you're bowing to the stone in the Bet HaMikdash. The Bet HaMikdash, that's the place of God. And therefore, if a person wants to go to bow to stones, let him go to Bet Avodah Zarah. What does he come to the Bet HaMikdash for? Therefore, the Kohanim are allowed to bow on the stone in the Bet HaMikdash. There is no hashash. However, the Chinuch writes, according to Harambam's reason, that the reason is because it looks like Avodah Zarah, so the Chavrat shouldn't make a difference where you're doing it. And then they say, but maybe because Kohanim are zirizim, and therefore we know Kohanim are vigilant and diligent, and therefore we're not so worried that they're going to do something that mimics the practice of Avodah Zarah, and they're going to come to Avodah Zarah. We can give a special dispensation to the Kohanim. Bottom line, this mitzvah applies in all places, in all times. It applies to male and female alike. If somebody actually went and bowed on the stone, b'pishut yadayim v'raglayim, he gets malkut min Torah. If he did not, bow with Pishui Adam Viraglayin, but he bowed to the stone, he gets Malkut Midrabanan. That should be pointed out. This is all talking about where he's not doing Avodah Zarah. But if he actually bows to the stone, that's Avodah Zarah, his punishment is Sikilah. It's got nothing to do with what we're talking about here today. Here we're talking about doing something that mimics it, or it looks like it, or something like that, but it's not legitimately Avodah Zarah. This guy believes in God. It's just that he's doing something that could lead to it, or has the bad optics. But if a person indeed went and he bowed to the rock, or to the mountain, or to the other, celestial bodies, that's Avodah Zarah Gamur. That you don't even have to bow fully. That already, if he just shows any type of respect or credence to the Avodah Zarah, he'll be Hayav, again with witnesses, Sekilah.